Jay Blakes. We're live here.
All right, I know.
It's Monday night, 11:23. Welcome back to the Brotherhood Podcast. Getting in the cold tub here.
Right.
Post tub, 1-0.
Yeah, post up. Give me like 30 seconds.
Oh. I gotta get my.
Oh yeah,
I
hold
gotta
on.
get my waist in.
This is cold. Come on, brother.
Welcome back to the Brotherhood Podcast. I'm here with Jay Blakes after a big dub against Dartmouth. I don't know the final score. What was that? 30 points?
Oh, you're about to make it a lot worse.
All right, I got the stat sheet here. Well, no, first of all, back in Cameron.
Yep.
After a 6-7 month hiatus. How'd it feel?
It was actually a great feeling. It's nothing like playing in Cameron. As you know, it was your first year last year, but that opening night is nothing like it. And the energy, you just play off that energy and you build off that energy. So it was a great feeling.
Yeah, it was packed.
It was
9 p.m.
packed.
game. I was kind of like, what's it gonna look like? Students, as always, showed out.
Yeah, they go crazy, man. They go crazy.
How'd you feel out there?
I felt good. I think the first win, I was a little tired. I'm not going to lie.
I was tired, too.
I was not going to lie. That first win. But eventually, getting settled in. And then, at the end of the first half, kind of, just providing a spark of energy was something that I prided myself on. How did you feel out there?
Good. I was running around out there playing defense.
Yeah.
They play their offense. We talked about it a lot pregame, but in the days leading up, but they play through that big, as they do in the Ivy League. With that 5-out offense, Princeton offense almost.
You got a lot of action tonight.
Yeah, but I was pressuring. I usually don't defense outside the 3-point line is not usually my thing historically.
Yeah, you're more in the paint kind of guy.
Usually out there commanding you guys, get over the ball screens, guys, run around out there, play defense. I'll clog up the paint. But today was different. I felt good. Your lip okay? What did you get? You caught an elbow?
Yeah, I caught a little elbow, but it's just all fair in love and war.
Tough guy things.
Yeah, tough guy things. Man.
Let's go through the stat sheet here. We got, we won by, I don't know where the score, 92-54. You got the math on that quick?
38.
That is 38. Good job.
Yeah.
Let's see. We were 9 for 12 from the free throw line. We shot less free throws than them. That's something we
What
want
were the
to.
assists? 18 assists? How many
18
turnovers?
assists to 9 turnovers, 2-to-1 ratio there. That's great.
They had 13 turnovers.
Yep.
Good job, Brian, Sean, Flip, Christian.
6 to 5 steals.
Okay.
We had 6 blocks.
Dang. Did you have a block today?
I have a block. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if that's legit. That might
Hey,
be,
if you're watching this, just watch Ryan Young's vertical. He's going to catch – how many dunks are you going to catch this year?
2. I'll start with the line at 2. More than last year.
One more than last year? Okay.
What do you think?
The over-under is 1.5. Sorry, we shouldn't be talking about betting on a college podcast. Over-under is 1.5.
What else here? 33 rebounds there, 29. They had more offensive rebounds than us.
Yeah.
Not great, but a lot of those are tips.
Yeah.
But we should have had more than 5. Do you have one here? No, you didn't have an offensive rebound. You had 2 rebounds.
Yeah.
2 fouls. You were 3 for 3. Oh, 100% this year, Jay Blakes.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm looking like you around that basket, man.
It's really easy to have a higher shooting percentage when you only shoot layups. Did you hit a 3? Oh, I kicked it out to you on that 3.
Yeah, you did. That was your assist.
Caleb Foster, 6 for 10. There we go. 2
Flip, 25 points as usual.
God, Flip looked good. Flip was fun.
Well, let's talk about Spencer Hubb's performance.
Well, we should.
We should talk about Spencer Hubbard. Checked into the game.
Before that, he's your roommate. Can you talk about can we even go back further? On scholarship this year. You've been around him a long time.
Yep.
Can you just talk about who he is to this program?
I mean, there's a lot of guys that, you obviously see the guys that are playing, the starters, the guys coming off the bench, but you don't necessarily see the effort that the walk-ons kind of put in every single day. And he sacrifices a lot for us, I think, along with, even just pass it to us after practice, guarding us during practice. But everyone knows on the team, the public may not see it, but that guy's a dog. I mean, every day he's picking up 94 feet. He's on the scout team giving us problems every single day. I remember there was a practice last year. He had like 38 points, just hitting threes. So, it's good to see him, get recognition for everything that he's done. He's obviously on scholarship now. But, For us, it wasn't a surprise what he did. He's a dog, man. And, all love to Spin Hub, love living with that man.
I would add it's almost demoralizing. There's some practices where, like, he's on the scout team, and that day, it might have been Miami when he's the point guard there. I'm blanking on the name.
He shot.
When he goes for, like, 30 in practice, like,
and they're like, stop! You got to go. Bro, he hit. Oh, sorry, my bad. He hit it over my head.
Guys, I know. He always says, "I know Spencer's hard to guard. I know he's shifty. Like, we got to get a stop."
Yeah.
And it's tough to, like, day before a game, we're trying to get 3 stops scout, and Spencer's just killing.
So, his performance was nothing, new to us, but it was definitely great to get that performance in Cameron. Obviously get that basket, but also, that charge. That's what he does, the dirty work.
He did go flying for that charge. How mad was he when that crowd went? He looked over at a bench and seemed annoyed that the crowd went. It is a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you're a walk-on, especially him, he's not like your typical walk-on. Like, Spen Hub's an all-conference player at the mid-major level almost in most conferences that are outside the Power 5. He looked annoyed that the crowd went crazy for him when he scored.
Yeah, but, he definitely is going to come back and appreciate that moment. Can we talk about Sean's fluke of a dunk?
Oh, my gosh.
Pull that up.
I thought 2 inches today, I thought Sean's knee fell apart. I thought it was, knock on wood, but both times he either hit a wet spot or something. I was like, oh, my God.
But no, that's what Sean does. What dunk did you think he was going to do? 360 windmill?
He loves the 360.
I was going back scratcher.
He has so much airtime. The lob looked incredible. When we were throwing, did you throw that?
I did.
That was a pretty good throw. That wasn't a bad pass.
Throw it up there. He's going to get it. Find it somewhere.
The classic Sean Stewart dunk straight to a chest pound.
Yeah, the chest pound is iconic. He should trademark that, the chest pound.
That is his move. I'm trying to see the rest of this lineup here. We had Jared fouls out in game 1. Plays well offensively, but you can see the veteran presence of that. The kid over there, Cornish, like getting them with those ticky-tack fouls. What kind of things would you say? Like, I'm sure you're talking to Jared on the sideline. I'm trying to talk to him, but from a guard's mentality that plays defense, how do you talk like a young freshman in his first game there?
It's definitely tough. I think the refs are calling it a lot tighter this year. But Cornish was definitely crafty, and where he placed the ball, and Jared had his hands out, and I think a lot of them were kind of him using his hands a little bit too much. So I try to suggest, trying to get your body in front of the ball and, not trying to use your hands as much. I am very handsy, though, on defense. But, I think, just trying to keep your body in front of the defender. Obviously it's tough with a crafty guard like Cornish, but, just trying not to use your hands as much and trying to beat him to the spot is probably really effective. But I think they called a lot of fouls. We got like 6 fouls in the first.
We certainly had more fouls than them. I'm trying to look at this here. What's fouls? Fouls is, okay, right here. 16 to... We had 18 fouls, they had 16. We were in the bonus. They were in the bonus in like 6 minutes maybe?
Early.
It was quick.
Early. And, obviously it's a lot. I think they're trying to make it an offensive game. They're trying to take the beauty out the game, the defensive game,
They talked about it, We had the refs come in, talk to us preseason and say they were going to try to call significantly less charges. They said, I think the number they put on was like 80% less charges.
Yeah.
That could have gone either way last year, going to be called like blocking fouls this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Not good for guys like me.
No. You have to play above the rim a little bit this year. Be very vertical. But how are you looking forward to Friday?
Yeah, big game coming up. I almost felt like this first game, although it's the first game of the year, it shouldn't be, but it feels like a trap game when you have 2 of the first 3 are big ones, preseason rankings, all that. You're talking about it for weeks and weeks. Months before the season starts, you have these games scheduled, and they're big ones. So I was proud of the way we came out today and didn't overlook a team that we might have been more talented in coming in. But yeah, it's exciting. That's what Coach Shire said in the locker room a few minutes ago. These are the games you come to Duke for, to play in. So it'll be a big test for us. What do you think are the most important things going into that?
Obviously, we have to. I haven't seen Arizona play much. I was really focused on.
I've never played Arizona in my career either.
Yeah, you had a long career though.
There's not a lot of teams out there that I haven't at least played or seen on film a decent amount.
Yeah, you had a long career, 6 years of career.
Go ahead.
Man, goodness. But I think, for us, obviously continuing that energy, I think defensively we have to be together. I think they'll play a fast pace. They obviously have a lot of inside presence with a lot of bigs. So I think, for us, just continue to protect our paint, but also, being solid defensively. I think, we scored 92 points. Mm-hmm. So we can obviously score the ball in a bunch of ways. So it's just our defensive end is going to be really important for us. And, obviously Cameron's going to be packed out. It's going to be the energy is going to be times 1,000. So it's going to be a fun environment, a fun game to watch, and a fun game to be a part of. So,
talk about what Cameron's going to look like. I feel like I've been a part of last year when these Carrawell talks about it, Shire talks about it, but they call some games like it feels like it's retro Cameron, like old style Cameron indoor. And last year they talked about it for Pitt and UNC, maybe one or two other games. It feels like the hype around Arizona is going to be one of those. What is that? What does Cameron feel like when they talk about it like that for those big games?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really describe it. I mean, it's really hard to even hear a play call. Obviously we played UNC last year, if you remember, and you were calling out a screen and you just can't hear it. But I think those are the fun moments. And obviously, once we get on a run, it's hard to hear anything. But obviously, I feel like do you feel this? But sometimes when it gets like super loud and they're jumping up and down, the court starts to shake a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think, that's definitely a fun environment. I mean, it's probably intimidating for a lot of teams coming in as soon as, we get on a 5-0 run and to hear everybody going, let's go Duke. And that's definitely a fun environment. Can you describe how that feels to you coming from Northwestern?
Good question.
I just had to ask.
It's a big deal. I feel like I tried to talk to you guys about it last year because I feel like I have the perspective of teams coming in. Like at Northwestern, we were about the same size as Duke playing in the Big Ten, so with smallest school by a lot, and we would go in and play these huge schools with, nothing to lose. You play freely when you're going into these other atmospheres, especially, we didn't have much success in the win-loss column, specifically in conference, so it was, I feel like I could see it from this other team's perspective when they come into Cameron, but no, it's a big deal. Again, I feel like I don't get to have the advantage of not taking it for granted. You and a lot of the other guys that haven't, played for other programs, you don't get to appreciate it to the level that I do. The Cameron crazies and the advantage of having such a home court advantage. We struggled to get people in the seats at Northwestern. There were games, if we play anybody relatively close, Illinois, either of the Michigans, Wisconsin, Iowa, there'd be just as many fans for the opposing teams as there were for us. And if we'd lose on a home court, there'd be times where the opposing crowds would start their chants, like the "Let's Go Dukes," at our home arena. So it's tough to play that way, obviously. And when you come to a place like this and you see the Cameron Crazies, the effect that it has in the court, you just go into games with significantly more confidence. You feel like we're supposed to win. And you play with that momentum. And then you could feel it, you could see it in opposing players when they come in. We go on that run when you come out today. You come in, did we have a couple and ones consecutively, a couple stops, and a couple threes? I felt the floor shaking when you had your and one. It was right after flip, I think, too.
Yeah, I believe so. I felt the floor shake a little bit. I was on the floor, so I felt the shake a little bit.
I couldn't know why it shook. You hit the floor pretty hard.
Nah, it was the crowd, man. But it was definitely a good environment. I mean, I don't know to speak to, I've played in Duke all my life, so, your 6-year career, you played in a couple places. So,
right.
6-year career, the grandpa of the team. But, what are you looking forward to this year, Ryan?
Geez, the biggest thing I think is just coming back with that experience, coming back with a lot of guys, returning minutes and returning points is a big deal. It felt different for me again all my career. We never had guys leave early for the league or anything like that, so it was easy to kind of keep that continuous tradition, the continuous, it's easier to go to the next season when you had only a couple guys leave, a couple guys come in. So last year I'm sure you felt it, just the first few games of the year, first 10 games or so, I feel like we're kind of looking for our identity last year, trying to figure out how we're going to play. So this year it's exciting to kind of come back and have much more of an idea of who we are. And it's easier to go into games with confidence knowing who we are. Last year it was who's going to score tonight? Who's going to be the guy? how are we going to come out and play defensively? What are we going to hang our hat on? Like, what do we take pride in? And this year, it's so much easier to identify that early in the year before the season even starts. We know we're returning really talented guards. We Flip coming back. We know who we're going to be. We got to be a team that works defensively. We're a little different, but it's got to be defense, rebounding, and just playing aggressive, playing your heart out there. So I think what I'm most excited about, to answer your question, is just not have to figure that out and take games into December and still try and learn those things. We have those values instilled already. We have the experience. It's just gonna be about bringing the young guys along and adding more to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a part of that is the freshmen that came in, the freshman four. I think they're doing a great job kind of helping build that identity in terms of, just our offensive ability, but also defensively taking pride on defense. The backcourt, they did a great job. Caleb got downhill, he scored. Jared scored in his spurts when he played. But I think also with Sean and TJ, they also did good things. I think, Sean just bringing that energy defensively. I think he had, 5 rebounds? And
Sean had 5 and 6 in 9 minutes.
Yeah, so I think, he just brought that energy. And TJ, obviously is continuing to develop and has that talent where, obviously he missed a 3, but everybody, whenever he shoots the ball, we obviously think it's going in.
It's going in every time.
I think, for us, it's just, the freshmen are doing a great job, obviously. And then, Captain Rye, Cap Germ, and Cap Reese, Cap Proctor.
Tyrese Proctor. What do you tell the young guys? Obviously, Jared started tonight, but the other 3 are coming off the bench, and I'll answer my own question after. But I'm just intrigued to what you'll say. How do you kind of mentor these guys? As somebody that's me and you both have been role players, guys that have come off the bench, have been expected to do different things at different times in the year. These freshmen, it's going to take a little while to know, but what kind of advice can we instill upon them in terms of how you come off the bench, how you learn what your role is, how you help the team as a guy coming off the bench? You don't know how many minutes you're going to play ever, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, an adjustment probably for a lot of guys, coming from high school. You're obviously the main guy on your team, but I think the advice that I give is, when your opportunity is given, be ready. And, just be ready and to give your all to help the team. You're not going to – by proving yourself is not going to get you more minutes, but by, helping the team, if you have a higher plus-minus when you're on the court, if you're going on a run when you're on the court, obviously that's going to take eyes and, just be ready to contribute to winning. I think if you can, obviously in your role, you do a great job in contributing to winning, defensively talking, rebounding, offensive rebounding, scoring in the low post, making the right pass. So in doing that role, you may not always get the glitz and the glam, unless you want to steal my spotlight against Florida State. But, I think a lot of times it's, just taking pride in the role that you have and just be appreciative that you're on the court at the end of the day, because, a lot of people want to be in your position. So I think if you're like, I'm too good for this, I'm too good for that, I mean, over 9 million, 10 million people would sacrifice whatever they're doing to be in your position. So I think, just taking, pride and joy in the position that you're in, that you're able to wear a Duke uniform and, be able to be on their court. And then obviously something that, when, a lot of guys come back who have won national championships, they never ask how much you scored, how many rebounds you had, how many minutes you played, but just the fact that you won and you have a banner. So I think that's something that, you try to instill in them.
Yeah, I'll go off that. It's we talked a lot about it in the preseason, but the word sacrifice keeps on coming up, and it's a lot of times. We had Coach K a couple weeks ago on the pod, and he was talking about how important it is to get people to commit to their roles. It's like you said, you could be, we have so much talent here, specifically at Duke. Like so many of our guys, especially young guys, that they could have went anywhere and been the main guy taking the most shots on the team. And it's, if you want to come here, you're here to win a national championship. That's the goal. So it's to be about, getting guys acclimated to the roles and making that sacrifice. The other thing I was going to say, it's difficult. You see it a lot in young guys when you come out and your head is in the mindset that if you're not scoring, you're not contributing. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to get over that hump when you're coming into the game and not think, all right, I might only play, 6 to 10 minutes today. You got to be okay with, coming into the game. You can't be thinking, I need to score to help this team win. I need to score to prove myself, to, try and, boost my role to try and play more minutes. It can't be coming in and thinking, I got to score. It's got to be the first thing. And I try to tell that to the young guys all the time, and anybody, coming in, don't put pressure on yourself to make something happen. If you come in, play as hard as you can on the defensive end, rebound, and just come out and bring a spark of energy, the scoring and making good plays will come. It's got to come naturally. We were almost a little timid out there as a group today, I thought, to start. And then once we settled in and committed to those values of defense, rebounding and playing hard, I felt like we looked more like ourselves. And the scoring came much more naturally. So that's the other piece of advice I would add there. But, all right, overall, biggest thing going into Arizona?
You probably asked me that question a little bit before, but
one thing.
One thing.
Okay, sorry. Hold on. Let me rephrase this question.
Rephrase it, please. Thank you. Again, go ahead.
What you saw from today's game
Up 6
against
years of
Dartmouth,
college education. Come on, let's rephrase it.
one takeaway from this game that you think is going to be really important going into Friday's game, but the rest of the season as well?
Is it one word, one phrase? Like, are we doing word, phrase?
One thing, one facet of the basketball game.
All right, here we go.
You want to think about it?
No. I got the answer right here.
All right.
But I thought you were going to go word. But,
No.
we're going to go phrase here. I think for us, it's just using our defense to kind of fuel our offense, like you said. We kind of start out timid on offense, but I think once you get a few stops, then you kind of become more confident offensively and, kind of become more free-flowing if you let your defense translate into offense. So I think that's something that's very important for us.
Yeah, I agree. Shires mentioned a lot. We're not going to have much trouble scoring the ball this year, and it's going to be committing ourselves to that defensive end. All right, well, it's been 20 minutes. I think the regulation.
Hey, if you know, Ryan's never in the cold tub.
I'm in the cold
Never
tub
in the cold tub.
consistently.
Never. When's the last time you were in the cold tub before this?
Well, I'm a big hot tub guy personally.
He's
and
a
I don't
big hot
necessarily
tub guy.
think I've had some trainers. You can find research for anything out there, but I've had a few people tell me there's not a huge difference between hot tub versus cold tub after practice.
Hot take. Put that on Mark Mitchell's hot take.
Mark Mitchell has significantly worse hot takes. So I'm a hot tub guy personally after practice.
All right.
And I think a lot of it is the placebo effect. Do you think, I think we'll get out of here and I'll feel much better, but I think a lot of it's in my head with the cold tub.
That's a good take. That's a
You
good
never
take.
really know, but
I don't know if I can agree with that on camera, though. Maybe behind the cameras I can agree.
everybody's going to be so mad that you might agree with it off camera. All right, it's been 20 minutes. It's past the regulated time, so
Yes, sir.
get out of here. But appreciate everybody listening to the Brotherhood Podcast. Post game one, Duke 1-0. Big game on Friday. Super excited. The team will be ready to play, and it's a wrap.
Let's get it done.